Hey, I'm Kerry-Anne. Welcome to Tales from the Lounge, brought to you by DiscovrTV. Today we are speaking to the legend that is Mr. Tim Parr. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Kerry-Anne.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm great. Thank you so much for spending the afternoon with us today.
It's my pleasure.
So tell us where you started. Where did it all start for Tim Parr in South Africa?
Well, I'm born in Hillbrow.
Mm-hmm.
My mom bought me my first guitar when I was 11. And
Thanks, Mom.
yeah, thanks, Mom. And then I found that it sort of came quite naturally to me, you know. I got it on the Tuesday. The Wednesday I was getting a melody out of it, but it took me many years to start writing songs and stuff. But I had an instant affinity with the guitar from the age of 11.
I feel like a musical instrument is something you can learn and you can get better and better at it, but some people have it in their blood, and I think you're one of those people. I think you couldn't have been anything other than a musician and a magician of words. You're a magical artist, and I feel extremely lucky to be able to know you and to know your music.
Thank you so much.
And your art. So born in Hillbrow, first guitar at the age of 11. So how many years have you been making music for?
Well, from the age of 11, I'm 62 now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as a musician, you always are growing.
Yep.
I had a friend who in Dublin who did a gig with Stefan Grappelli when he was 85, and he turned to my friend Robbie and said, you know, I'm 85 and I'm still growing. So I think as a musician, you're always growing. There's always something new to learn.
Of course. Sure. Of course. You grow until the day you cross over to
Absolutely.
Wherever you're going next, and then you start afresh and you start growing again. Maybe.
Sure.
We don't know what's going on, but as an artist, I feel like you're growing and you're getting inspired by so many different elements to life and to different artists and your surroundings. Okay, so let's talk a bit about the music that you've played for us today. Tell us about the cover and why you chose that number.
Sid Kitchen was a friend of mine, and after he died, a bunch of people got together, and I was invited with Steve Newman and a whole lot of Sid's friends, and to honor him. Mm-hmm. And somebody, Mark, my ex's husband, was a good friend of Sid, and he sent him all these of Sid's songs, and they were so difficult and complicated. And the night before the gig, Bill Knight had taped Sid Kitchen singing The Boogie Dies, and he sent it to me, and that's the song I learned. And I play it every gig now because I just love the song.
It's my favorite Sid Kitchen number.
It's a lovely song. The lyrics are so cool.
It's such a cool tune and pretty complicated to play. I'm not sure.
Not compared with his other songs. It's just a kind of a boogie.
Yeah.
But the lyrics, like, what's that line? People get dangerous when they got no dreams, and they open letters with a butcher's knife. Yeah, he wrote beautiful lyrics.
Which would obviously appeal to you.
Yeah.
Cool. So who are some of the South African artists that have inspired you along the way?
Well, I grew up with Larry Amos.
Mm-hmm.
He taught me to play the blues and to get deeper into songwriting. So he was a very big influence on me. Mr. Steve Fattar as well has been a great mentor and friend. But in the very beginning, when I first started playing, who was my mentor? It was my second mother, was Judy Page. She saw the kind of home I lived in, and she pulled me out of that and became my second mother, and she took me to the studio for the first time and introduced me to Johnny Fourie and Archie van der Ploeg and Tony Moore, all these people. I was 12 years old then. She was a great mentor for me, and we're still best of friends.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Now let's talk about the two originals that you performed today.
The one is called Don't Throw It Away.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it in the days of Elemental, and it was Go Throw It Away. All the negatives in your mind. And when Penny and I decided to sing it again, I took it and I changed the verse around, and I made it, the chorus, I made it don't throw it away. All the positive in you. Hold that positive energy.
Yeah.
So.
So you can basically change any negative into a positive by the way you look at something.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and the amount of
It's
love,
the same
I guess.
song. It's just interpreted differently.
Yeah, awesome. And your last song?
What was the other one I played? Time.
Mm-hmm.
That I wrote also during the elemental days. Just about time doesn't stand still for anyone. Marches on, no matter how much you try and slow down time, it marches on.
Yeah.
So,
But great that
yeah.
you've been able to make music. Backstop, Heather, Elemental, Larry, Sid. What an incredible journey music has taken you on.
it has, yes.
Wow. And if I could ask you one lesson you learned along the way that you'd like to pass on to up-and-coming musicians. Because you only learn things along the way,
Yeah.
and sometimes when it's a little too late. So if there's one thing that
Yeah.
you could pass along to younger artists out there that maybe you wish you'd known.
To stay present and to respect an audience. You only get there because of them,
Wow.
and you must sing from your heart to them.
Wow.
It's important that.
It's incredibly
it's the people
important.
who put you there, you know?
Wow.
And you must always be honest. It's very important that.
So many great lessons.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for sharing some of your knowledge and your experience and your musical life lessons with us and with the audience today. Any last shout-outs, anything else you'd like to say before we let you go?
You know, all those years I lived in Ireland, I never drank. And they thought I was crazy, living in Ireland, not drinking. And then in the last 20 years, I would sometimes get too pissed. And if anything, for young musicians today, I think it's to be more sober when they play. Because even if they're struggling, I mean, I struggle with that still, you know, I get nervous, have a drink, and sometimes I have too much to drink and I can fall over. Less and less, but try and play your music sober, because it'll touch the people more if it comes from that place.
Awesome.
That's a big lesson for me, I swear. That's it.
I think the smaller the audience and the more intimate, the harder it is, because you have all of these eyes watching you and you constantly feel judged as compared to a huge audience. But I think trying to calm the nerves, and I think the nerves will always be there for a lot of artists, especially the ones like you that wear their hearts on their sleeves and that are as honest as you are. So I guess it's a tricky thing to do, but
I would love to be sober, but I don't. I battle with it, you know. Yeah, just for me, just to drink less now.
Yeah.
Get into that comfortable zone where I'm just, as in Ireland they say, walking on both sides of the road, but not falling over.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Tim, it's been amazing spending time with you. Thank you so much for sharing your story, your tales, and your life lessons with us. And I look forward to chatting to you again. The amazing Tim Parr on DiscovrTV, Tales from the Lounge. I'm Kerry-Anne. Thank you so much to the guys behind the camera. Thank you so much, Tim.